everybody, welcome to the latest Elite FPL video, Game Week 30 preview with myself and Jason, obviously talking about the upcoming game week, which is happening on Monday. Just to give you behind the scenes, we're actually recording this on Saturday. The games haven't even kicked off yet. In fact, we're recording this at 9 o'clock in the morning, which is amazing for me and Jason, because as we just discussed 2 seconds ago, it means that we can just get on with our day, and it just suits our lifestyles, doesn't it, Jace?
Something like that. Something like that. It feels like it's been months since I last spoke on Elite FPL, to be honest. I've been seeing so many videos of Steve-O walking through beautiful Dartmoor graveyards, talking about everything other than FPL. Yeah, I'm interested in maybe just seeing what conversation comes of this, because obviously you've got game week 30 coming up. There's a few differentials between me and you, which, let's be honest, if there's going to be a miracle and I'm able to catch how many points difference, I don't even know. 60 points. If there is some miracle, then it will only come down to the differentials. Yours, of course, not doing well, mine doing well. The chances of that are very, very slim. I'd put it in the single digits in percentage. But it's a possibility. And Man City, I've got 3 Man City going into this week. We'll talk about our teams slightly later in this, but I was just saying to Steve-O before we hit the record button, this season does feel different on many levels. Obviously being busy in work life, private life, and of course the feel of excitement this year is slightly diminished, or I say slightly. The feeling of excitement this year for the FPL has gone down dramatically. And I'm not quite sure I can put my finger on exactly why. Maybe it's because I'm doing so bad, Steve-O. Maybe the rank is the thing that, psychologically, subconsciously, if you fall out of that top 1 million, all of a sudden you see those 6 digits. You think, hang on a minute, what am I doing? Why am I bothering with this?
I would counter that actually by saying, let's say your life circumstances, because as General said on Gary's podcast, that I think a lot of people, I think you will probably admit that it can get to you, and the same for me, that sometimes FPL can
a game that you cannot control, other than setting your team up. You can't control anything that happens on the pitch.
Yeah, I think it can highlight problems that are going on in your life. And I'll reverse the point. So exact same life circumstances, everything is exactly the same, but rather than having a bad rank, you've got, say, you're 100k. Do you still feel the same about the game? Or
no? If you're 100, if I'm 100k right now, I will be laser focused trying to get better and better, because
even with same life circumstances,
I think so, because I think it comes down to what I would put down to a motivation. Like, I can give you a great example. So I'm in a band. Now, throughout the year, we do practices, we do rehearsals, practice at home. But then all of a sudden a gig comes up. What happens, Steve-O? A gig comes up, say, I don't know, 8th or 9th of April, gig's coming up. What do I do in that week building up to that gig? I practice my guitar more. I arrange maybe another rehearsal with the band, and we do 2 rehearsals in a week. We maybe rent an office space somewhere. We set up a PA, set up all the sound and lighting. So we've got the motivation to spend extra time on something comes from a reward. And I would say the reward for me would be playing the gig and the contribution of the band. And in this sort of kind of parallel would be if I was 100k, which is a far cry from what I am now, and I hadn't taken all those hits and I'd been doing all right, then I would be like, God, I've got a chance of finishing in the top 100k. This would be a very good finish for me. Over the last 3 seasons, it would be my best finish. Why wouldn't I focus on it? I think it would be a massive motivator for me. I think falling out, I mean, I'm 2.5 million. So for me, it's just like, whatever.
I think
there are literally teams, Steve-O, that have not made any transfers and have just been floating around, and they're doing better than me. Yeah.
I don't know. I think that I think the difference would be actually you'd be, not you, but me and anybody would be probably more positive talking about FPL rather than the more negative side of it, because let's get real here.
You're not negative.
If you were 100k and we're both talking to one another like we are now, and we're talking about the fact that we're both going to captain Haaland or we're both going to captain Marmoush or whatever, and it's like, yeah, we feel good. We feel good about the fact that we know it's probably going to come through because look at our ranks. We're doing really well with our captaincy picks and our transfers. The problem is, Jace, is that no matter what me and you do this season, it's
shit.
Oh, we've got to talk about the fact that I'm bringing in this player, but it's probably going to turn to, like you just said, turn to shit anyway. So why do I want to talk about positivity? Because let's not mess about it. I'm assuming you're going to be captain in Haaland against Leicester.
I've got him as a captain at the moment. I haven't really looked at my team much, to be honest, over the international break, which is essentially FPL death. like you, if there's anything to put you off football, it's the international break. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah, it's been, what did Gary say? It's like every other content creator says, it's been the longest international break.
Honestly, like,
do you watch anything? I'd probably ask you this every
mate, I watched the highlights.
What, you watched the highlight? Really?
Yeah, I watched the 3-minute highlights. Yeah, I watched the 3-minute highlights while I'm brushing my teeth. I don't know.
That's still longer than when I actually put the game on live, and I'm like, I can't watch this anymore.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? I find watching England just it's well, I suppose it's not as bad as watching United, but it's still not nothing that interests me. I mean, again, international break is kind of is a killjoy for FPL, isn't it?
But especially when it's teams like Albania and Latvia.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely.
They should just toss a coin behind closed doors and make the outcome, like, instead of sending the players out there to play it.
As I said the other day, England are so easy to predict that you could literally put 50p on, a few different score lines, and it's most likely going to come through. Especially like I said, Latvia and Albania, just 1-3-0. It's like I said to my mum last night regarding Sheffield United and Coventry. I'm just, Sheffield United are more than likely going to win this, and because they got a decent defence, it's probably going to end up being like 1-0, 2-0. I think it ended up 3, maybe 4-0. I don't actually know, but last time I checked, it was 3-0. But you can kind of get an idea of how teams are going to perform. And talking of which, obviously, Man United not in the FA Cup, Burnley not in the FA Cup. You're going to be watching any of the matches today, tomorrow?
No. I mean, it may come out as an absolute surprise that I have absolutely not got any interest whatsoever. No.
Well, the interesting,
I'm just annoyed that Nottingham Forest and Man United on TNT Sports and not on Sky Sports. That's kind of annoying.
Yeah. It's an odd midweek.
I refuse to pay for TNT Sports after already paying for Sky Sports, but it seems that everything that I want to watch is on TNT Sports, which is annoying. But yeah, or should I say Now TV, which is again, like I've always said, a pile of absolute dog shit.
It's good for the darts.
It's good. Well, it's good if you don't actually mind it being 3 minutes behind everyone else who's watching Sky, because when you've got someone on a call with you that's watching it on Sky and they're getting they're reacting to stuff, and you're like, well, hang on a minute, I'm still in 27 minutes. 20, or hang on a minute, they're still lining up to start the game. What's going on? They're just shaking hands.
That'll be happening Wednesday. So
yeah.
Although Wednesday, I don't think there's any matches on TV in the UK other than the Liverpool at home to Everton, where of course there's going to be a load of X accounts and content creators panicking that we sold Salah. What's he going to do against Everton? Because obviously you're somebody that sold Salah, Jason. I don't think there's anything to be panicking about there, is there?
I've got him back in, so we'll talk about it.
What? Have you?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I haven't really.
But the thing is that you said about how you could potentially catch me. I know 60 points is a lot, but you have, because of your differentials, genuinely have been. It was 100 points at one, like what, I don't know, 8 weeks ago. Now it's down to 60.
Yeah, I mean, is it mathematically possible? Of course it is, but is it realistic? No. I said again, it'll be like 8% chance, I think, of catching you. 8%.
It'll be down to chips, because you've not got any wild card.
Well, I haven't got a wild card, but I've got obviously got my free hit. I've got my triple captain bench boost. But again, yes.
Yeah, we got the same chips, barring I've got wild. Oh no, yeah, wild card only on top. So
yeah. So it all depends on how you play that wild card and what I have to do and how many hits I have to make to kind of compete, really. But I don't put myself. I don't have any pressure on myself to catch you. I don't even like. I'll be honest. If you were, let's be okay. We've got a rivalry between us, but both of us are doing shit, right? Both of us. Even if you even between the rivalry between us, you're not going to be happy with your season finish as it is at the moment. I'm not going to be happy with my season finish as it is at the moment. Okay, you finished above me, but you're still 1.6 million. Okay, it's probably your worst. In fact, your average finishes is ridiculous.
I think it's like 150k average.
Like for me, it would be like if I was in your position, because like your average last 3 seasons average is, I can give you that now, it is pretty damn good. So my last season free average, you have a guess?
Your 3 seasons, it would be quite similar to mine. I'm guessing about 500-600k.
I've had some bad season finishes.
In the last 3 seasons.
Yeah. So last 3 seasons, 855,000.
It's your average.
Is my average. Yours is 386,000. So this season, and this is for me and you, this is going to pull our average down massive. If I finish around 2 million, you finish 1.5 million ish. It's going to really pull our averages down.
I've deliberately put my team up on the screen because while you were talking about our teams and you were talking about averages and whatnot, I've got problems in my team, Jace. I've got injuries galore, but specifically it's with Chris Wood, who doesn't look like he's going to be playing for Nottingham Forest against Man United. Obviously, we're going to get more information as we get towards Tuesday. And of course, Trent Alexander-Arnold is probably going to be out for the next 2, 3, 4 weeks or whatnot. Now, I've already got my plans in my head of what I'm going to be doing transfer-wise. It's almost going to be Wood for a -4, Wood out for Mateta, and Trent Alexander-Arnold out for either Munoz, who will be away at Southampton.
Top transferred in.
Or the player that I want to be bringing in, which is Vardiol. Now, apparently Vardiol's fine, but I want to wait till tomorrow's game against Bournemouth to find out specifically if Vardiol's on the bench, because he's going to play against Leicester. We know that will happen. So I'm going to be waiting on that transfer because, like I said, it's with people like me and you in the ranks that we are in. It's, well, good players are bringing in Munez and Mateta, but also the bad players are. So that means then, I'm either going to just stick to the same level of points that they're going to get, or because I'm bringing them in, they're going to fail miserably. It's a bit like since bringing in Chris Wood, he's done absolutely nothing for me since. And the same with the likes of the Palmer. You know, the second you decide to choose the captain against a really poor Southampton, he chooses to miss a penalty, the first penalty miss ever. You know, it just goes round and round in circles.
Can I have your honest opinion on Palmer?
And what is that?
Like,
I think he's
going forwards between now and the end of the season.
I think he's just an avoid. I don't think having him in anymore is.
You've got Salah in.
Yeah. I've got this is the thing. My team: Flecken, Gabriel, Timber, Trent, Enzo, and Burmo, Bowen, Salah, Haaland, Wood, Visser, and then on the bench it's Robinson, Katara, and Greaves. So. For me, Palmer is, by all accounts, I think, has been struggling with injury or maybe muscle fatigue in his legs or something over the last several weeks. And I think it's really, really caught up with him to the point of where now he is just, boss, I need to rest. And he didn't train this week. Jace. So it doesn't. I'm not suggesting he's not going to play against Tottenham, but if he doesn't play against Tottenham and you still got him, because if I bring your team up on screen, there, your team has got Palmer in, and it's looking likely that he won't be playing. You've got Chris Wood. So your problems are Palmer and Chris Wood.
Yeah, no, this is a question which I was I actually will float to you for an 8-point hit. Which
I'm thinking of a 4-point hit. Go on, you're an 8-pointer.
So if I was to bring in Mateta in for Wood, like you, because he's the cheapest, right? And that plays into you.
Mateta's not the cheapest.
Vista, whatever. But like, that's a dead transfer anyway, in terms of me v you anyway.
Yeah, but but remember, you've got the double game week coming up for Newcastle and Crystal Palace. This is the thing, Jace. 32 is the double game week in which I'm going to be wildcarding in 31, and I'm going to be having more than likely what the team reveal website suggests, which is basically 3 Newcastle, 2 Crystal Palace, a couple of Man City, and having Salah in there. I've already done my wildcard team is basically sorted, Jace. And the thing is, you need to be taking hits to be bringing in the likes of Isaac and...
I only really need to be taking hits to be bringing in... Well, no, I mean, I take a -4, Palmer out, Wood out, Isaac in, and I don't know, someone for 8.5. Who's flavour of the week at the moment?
Ishmael Sarr.
Luis Diaz could be an interesting one, even though he hasn't done absolutely anything. He's got 2 assists in 2 games.
The thing is that this is the problem with your
rotation's going to happen, because Liverpool are going to be confirmed champions soon.
Oh yeah, they're going to continue performing at a level.
Yeah, but the thing is, they're going to rotate the hell out of that team.
Yeah, but that's what I was going to say, is that people like Trent Alexander-Arnold, why I don't think he will come back in quite a while, is because Conor Bradley's, I believe, just signed a new contract. He's going to be the replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold when he goes to Real Madrid. Why does Slot need to play Trent Alexander-Arnold? He's injured. He's going to have to come back and have to rehabilitate, heal, etc., etc. Conor Bradley's there, So that may, because people like Trigger Lips are saying that Trent Alexander-Arnold not playing has an effect on Salah. You could be onto something there. It all goes down the left-hand side with Diaz.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be looking at Liverpool assets per se. I'd be in your shoes. You've got to be looking at double game weekers. And the funny thing is that Man City, there's a high chance they're going to be double game weeking in 34. This next turnaround of matches, Jace, is massive. It's huge, because I'm going to be really wanting to attack these double game weeks, and then obviously using the bench boost, and the free hit will be best for me and you, to be honest. And I think it's Roberta was talking about game week 34, 35 is one of the biggest blanks, and that's where me and you could really benefit from.
You know what? I've got another problem with Foden.
Yes, but I think he'll be okay for Leicester. I think he'll be okay for that. I mean, your team, for people listening on audio, it's not Fabianski in goal, it's Henderson, but Henderson, Cucurella, Kirkes, Murillo, Foden, Fernandes, and Burmo, Palmer, Haaland, Wood, and Marmoush. That 3 for Leicester is devastating, because Yelena's going to be covering the Man City game, and well, hopefully we'll be bringing you good news regarding Foden, Haaland, and Marmoush. It's Leicester, Jace. That certainly is a game in which
-12.
I think you need to tackle Wood and Palmer.
If I did a -12 for this, right? I'm not going to do it, but I could do Isaac in for Wood, Sarr in for Foden, which just ignore that. Salah in for Palmer, and Jacob Murphy in for Trossard. But of course it wouldn't.
Trossard, yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, Trossard. Yeah, all those FPL legends of this season. Trossard, Foden. Second half of the season, Palmer. Yeah, holding on, just holding on. Yeah,
it's tragic.
I wonder why I'm at 2.5 million. I wonder why.
Oh, by the way, I was genuinely thinking of messaging you about. In fact, I did a video about it, but the fact that you didn't captain Fernandes, and I said to you, you should have captained him. This is before their match against Leicester. I said if I was in your shoes, I'd be captaining Fernandes.
Yeah,
you didn't do it. The fact that he came through, Jace, with 2 goals and assists, is just that's what, because you had an extraordinary game week, didn't you? That last time around, and that's the thing. Your game weeks over the past several have been really, really profitable. Like, yeah, do you know what's really worrying is the fact that you're nearly catching up with Firetog.
I don't know why that's worrying.
Well, it's more worrying for him. The fact that, don't get me wrong, you're still God knows how many points behind him, but the fact that, me personally, I'm 4 points behind Firetog.
Are you suggesting that Firetog's putting in a smidgen more effort than me?
I'd probably say it's the other way round, to be honest with you. The fact that you're putting in more of a smidgen of effort than he is, because he is just...
What? Because I decided to rock up on Elite FPL to talk about my team this week. That's about as much effort I'm putting into FPL. That's basically it.
Your game weeks, they've produced 3 green arrows out of the last 4. In fact, since game week 24...
Hey, Steve-o.
Yes?
It's easy when you're bottom of the game to get green arrows.
You had 131 points in 24, 74 in 25, 93 in 26, 41 in 27. But I can guarantee that 41 was probably quite high compared to most, or on an equal basis. 72 and 57. To put that in perspective, when it comes to my team, for instance, I am nowhere near at that level of point scoring, maybe on an equal par. So game week 24 I had 110, then 117. Okay, maybe I have... maybe it is slightly better, but to be honest with you, I mean, in game week 28 I only had 36 points. So the thing is, me and Ray were saying this, and so was Gary, about the fact that, including you, we're just in ranks where we're just not really moving anywhere. It's just, we're just stuck and can't seem to get away from our particular areas unless we bring in some differentials, which, you know, like you just mentioned about Jacob Mercury, I'm thinking of Harvey Barnes, because Anthony Gordon's going to be out. Apparently Tuchel said it doesn't look good regarding Anthony Gordon and his injury. Now, whatever we take from that, it could mean nothing, but I'm thinking Harvey Barnes may step up in that role. He's only 5.9 as well.
Really?
He's only 5 point, and also another couple of players. You know, Aston Villa may have a couple of double game weeks. I'm seriously thinking Rashford and Asensio double up. Again, those two are clearly in favour of Emery. The only downside, though, is the fact that they are rotation risks, because Emery is going to be concentrating on Champions League, and these two particular individuals, I think he looks at the pond and goes, you've got Champions League experience, I need you to be on your best form versus whomever they're playing. Whereas in the league, I think they've got a good enough squad to be able to cope with not having them, even though they are top level performers. But certainly, you know, with the way me and you are playing at the moment, I think the upside for me is that I've got the chips. The upside for you is that it seems to be that your differential picks are coming through, mate.
Apart from Foden.
Foden, well, that's an odd one. It's a bit like Palmer, really. They've dropped off.
Yeah.
So specifically Foden.
Foden's just a different look. He looks so different now.
There's talk that Palmer's not performing because there's no Nicholas Jackson. So maybe that's affecting his game a bit. But with Foden, I literally have no idea what's going on with Foden.
Well, Man City, you could say the same thing about Man City anyway, couldn't you?
Well,
What the hell's going on with Man City? I don't think anyone expected them to drop off the rate that they've dropped off. Let's be completely honest. They've fallen off the cliff, haven't they?
Do you think that's just down to the fact that they've got all this 115, 130, whatever the ruling is, hanging over their heads? They've won everything. They're exhausted. They're going through a period in which they've lost one of their key components in Rodri. You think that could be one of the issues? I mean, funny enough, talking to Man City, Jace, do you remember that player, Oscar Bob? Do you remember him? Well, he started
Oscar Bob.
Bob.
Yep.
He started training, and he's also played, I think, a few minutes or 60 minutes for the under-21s. And I tell you what, he could be legitimately a differential for the last few game weeks. You know, he could come on the bench. He could be on the bench for Man City against Bournemouth. Then against Leicester, he comes off.
You're not convincing me to sabotage my team. I can do it myself. I've actually just sent you a screenshot in Discord. I'm actually tempted to just hit this button now. I don't know why.
Okay, let's have a look at this.
Just hit that. It's basically what I said.
You're tempted with this.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to just read it out then, Jace?
Oh, you can read it out. You're the host.
You want me to read it out, do you?
Yeah,
okay, then.
I can't
so we've got
articulate it as well as me.
So I'm looking at this and going, on paper, it's gorgeous. But the fact that it's a -12
and also it's a fact that one of those would need to be benched, because I'd have a 5-man midfielder and a three up top.
Would it be Jacob Murphy of those four specifically? So just to let the audience know, is Wood, Foden, Palmer, Trossard out for Isaac, Salah, Sarr and Murphy.
Yeah.
For a -12, but that would mean that you not to do any transfers for the next.
Well, it's just doing them now and then.
Well, it's not just that, but remember, people like Sarr are playing in the FA Cup, and there's a small chance he may get injured.
Oh, there's a small chance, mate. That's unlikely, but
he may not. He may get injured. It's the same with a lot of these players. To be honest with you, a lot of them could potentially get injured. On paper, it looks phenomenal. I'm not sitting here and pretending I'm going to say to you that don't do it, but I always think about something that you kind of said earlier on, and then kind of linking it into years ago, where it's these, like, you say you don't really care for the game, so why would this be playing on your mind? If you don't care for the game, just hit the button. But also, I'd argue, when you were doing really, really well at FPL, when you had that absolutely extraordinary season back in 2020, 2021, these are the moves you would do.
That was
because I was listening into Nick's interview with Gary from FPL Juice, and he was talking about how with certain content creators, when they hit a point where they get really, really good ranks, not that we do this for this, but lots of people come towards the channel and view it. And remember, you were at some ridiculous level at like 98th in the world, or even higher than that at one point. I think on a Saturday evening you were like 60th in the world.
Yeah.
And it's because of moves like this, mate.
Subliminal, mate.
It's because of moves like this. And people, if me and you had the bottle to actually go through these...
But a quick question. Would it make more sense to go with Gvardiol?
He may be injured. We don't know. Apparently he's fine. But until we see the Bournemouth game, which is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow, we don't know the extent of the problem with Gvardiol. But by all accounts, it's probably just a tiredness issue.
Just a niggle.
I'm personally just going to be just waiting on information. But to get Mateta in, unfortunately, I have to do a -4.
What's our thoughts on Salah?
I think he's still
these last 8 game weeks. Is he playing majority of the games? Is he going to be featuring like
Salah? He's going to play every single match. Of course he is.
Do you think he's going to play 90? I don't think he's going to play 90 minutes though.
What?
Well, they're cruising.
Jason, I know it's 9 in the morning, but
mate, they're cruising. They're cruising in the league. It would make no sense for him to just
their fixtures. Everton at home, he's going to be playing. Fulham away. Well, I don't know when it'd be mathematically possible. Also, it's down to Arsenal as well. But what are they at the moment in the league regarding points wise?
Right now,
10, 11, 12.
They are quite far. It's 12 points. 12 points. Right. So I mean, for me, they've won the league. So they've won the league. So why would you put your star player 90 minutes for the rest of the season?
I think mathematically, once they win it, Slot. I don't think Slot's the kind of manager that disrespects the Premier League by resting players or key players. I really don't think that's the kind of person.
They're still in the Champions League, though, aren't they?
No. Remember, they were knocked out, unfortunately, because of penalties to PSG.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, PSG penalties,
1-0, 1-0, and then, obviously...
Oh, I suppose they got nothing else, have they? They got nothing else to worry about.
And that's the thing. And Salah, he will play every single second, every single minute. But whether he's, and again, I think Salah being the sportsman that he is and the athlete that he is, he will not drop down the level that he's playing at. That's not. It's like Lionel Messi, isn't he? Barcelona have won the league. Yeah, okay. Does Lionel Messi stop performing?
No. Okay, yeah, no. I, for some bizarre reason, I thought they still had something else to play for.
No. But I think you are onto something. That if Trent Alexander-Arnold does have a positive impact on Salah with playing, and if he's not playing, Salah's performance, not performance, but his output drops because of Trent not playing, then we've got a different talking point. Because then it's, Trent's not playing for 3-4 weeks. Do we really need Salah? And that's why people did the move of Haaland in whoever and then getting rid of Salah. That's the thing. And people that are brave in this game will get rid of the likes of Salah. I personally think it's just... I don't think it's to the point of suicidal, but I certainly think that getting rid of one of the most consistent players in the Premier League this year to what? Bring in Ismail Sarr. to bring in...
What are you referring to, Palmer?
No, with Salah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like people are...
Yeah, so basically what am I achieving out of those? Well, it's mainly Isaac, isn't it?
I don't...
But then I didn't... I mean, again...
I don't see any problem with that.
The transfers are bringing in Salah and Isaac, aren't they?
Injured Wood... And by the way, his fixtures are terrible anyway.
Injured Wood, Foden is off, absolutely gone. Mm-hmm. Palmer, that seems to be again
missing penalties every week.
Yeah, off form. And Trossard, who's you
never play him.
So I'm bringing in Murphy, which probably is a net positive because he, for me, is more actively involved in his team at a better price point. And then we've got Sarr for Palmer, who's more in form. Salah in for Foden, who's in form. Salah, of course, is in form, and Isaac in for Wood, who's injured. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna hit the button. Ready? 3, 2, 1, boom, done. Made it.
Send us the team then. Just stick the team in screenshot.
Here we go.
Stick the team in screenshot.
I don't even know why exactly. Why am I procrastinating over this?
Well, it's not even about procrastinating over it. I think personally, people like me and you, we've got this really weird psychology, and there it is. We've got this really weird psychology around us where it's... I wouldn't go as far to say we're fearing of being mocked. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just fear... It's the fear of, oh my God, we're taking points out of our team, or we're worried that if it backfires, that
could it be a triple captain opportunity this weekend? This next game week. Sorry, not the weekend.
For who?
Haaland at home to Leicester.
No, he's out of form. For a player of his standards,
if he was in form, definitely a consideration. But
let's just quickly look at Haaland this season. Well, we've got our clickbait title. That's the main thing, Jace.
That's all right.
That's what we've got.
That'll get us an extra 12.
So Haaland, it's in the last several game weeks. Game week 29, 1 goal. 27, 1 goal. 25, 1 assist. 24, a goal. The last time he got a double-digit return was at home to Chelsea. He got a goal and assist. Before that, it was against West Ham at home, 2 goals. Now, he was at home to whoever it was last time out, who I've completely forgotten. Brighton. Brighton, you could argue, are actually a very, very good team. Leicester are terrible, and Haaland is a flat-trap bully. I personally think that if Haaland was to score a hat-trick, I would not be thinking, oh, that's a bit weird. Haaland scored a hat... I'd be like, I'd expect that. Triple captain Haaland in game week 30? I'll tell you what, it's not the worst idea. It's the only reason why you wouldn't do it is because of what I've just said. It's just not informed. Man City aren't informed, but they are playing the worst team in the league, arguably worse than Southampton. They have got no motivation whatsoever. They have just laying down and getting fucked, basically. Look at Man United, for instance. Look at Man United. You beat them 3-0 at a canter, and they didn't put up a fight. Let's get real. As a Man United fan, you're there for the taking.
Yeah. We're not exactly high scoring Man United, are we?
Your team are a bunch of clowns.
That pass sideways.
And yet, you still manage to beat them 3-0, and Bruno Fernandes still gets you. I mean, that team now, Henderson in goal, Cucurella, Kirkes, Murillo, Salah, Fernandes, and Bournemouth, Sarr, Haaland, Isaac, Mamouche, brilliant. How much money have you got in the bank? Is that exact fund?
0.2.
How much is Mamouche?
Mamouche, he is to buy now 7.1 million.
So
7.3. Sorry, 7.3 million. I would sell him for 7.1.
Oh, so you can't get in Mateta for free then? The double for free.
Why not? Is he 7.5?
He's 7.5, and he's probably going to go up in price after today.
Shoot.
So I'm assuming you'd probably. I'm helping out a rivalry, but you've got the same team as me, so you'd probably do Mbermo out for Eze. In fact, do that now. Just check this if you could do this now. Mbermo out for Eze, Marmouche out for.
Hang on. All players. Just, God, here we go.
Oh no, you can't because you've got Henderson. So
okay.
Harvey Barnes. What about my mate Harvey Barnes?
Your mate Harvey Barnes. He's not even on there. He's not even on the list of transferred in players. Of course he ain't.
He won't be in the list of transferred in players. Harvey Barnes in from Burma, Marmouche in from Mateta in from Marmouche.
Way enough. Way.
There's your move then.
I don't know. Play with 10 men.
So then you would have Henderson, Sarr, Mateta, Isaac, Jacob Murphy, and Harvey Barnes for the double game week. Triple captain Isaac.
Doesn't exactly fill me with. I mean, everyone's gonna have the same team.
No, they won't.
They'll have Isaac. They'll have Isaac. So.
Well, my wildcard team is going to be roughly. If I put my team up on screen, because they will highlight, it'll be probably Henderson in goal. Funny enough, Henderson, and then it may be a Newcastle defender in someone like Livramento, and then we would have for the double game weeks the likes of Mateta, and that would be it for me. Mateta only. And then I'd have Isaac for definite. So really, not much of a difference. If I wanted to play it like the Shield, if they want to use that, the Swordver and the Shield would be bringing in Munoz. But their fixtures are terrible. It's bloody Man City and Newcastle for Crystal Palace. They're not exactly easy fixtures. It's Man City away as well. I know Crystal Palace are good away, but it's Newcastle away Crystal Palace are away at Newcastle and Man City.
Mm-hmm.
Do I expect Crystal Palace to score in those games? Yeah. Keep clean sheet? Nah, not really. But Crystal Palace are very good away from home. But certainly, I would want to be. Newcastle would be the team to attack. Newcastle at home to Man United and Crystal Palace. They're decent fixtures, and obviously, we would be able to see then who the usual Newcastle lineup is, but it's probably going to be Harvey Barnes, Isaac, and Jacob Murphy up front. But I'd need more information on that. But you've definitely got the player in Jacob Murphy who's almost certainly going to be starting for Newcastle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would have thought so. Yeah.
He's the highest chance, and that's why for me a -4 to get rid of Wood and Trent for players that I'm going to be bringing in the wild card anyway, probably in Mateta and Munoz makes logical sense. But attacking that Leicester fixture, Jace, because you really have got the power three there.
What do you mean?
Well, in Haaland, Mamouche. Oh no, it's power 2 now. Haaland and Mamouche.
The power 3 is no longer a power. It's now a power 2. But I mean, yeah. I don't think I'm not that confident on Mbremo going forward.
No. He's a player that I'll be looking to get rid of. We don't need Brentford. In fact, they're on the beach now. They're a team which aren't going anywhere. They won't go down. They're just literally cementing their place in 12th, 11th spot. You know, they're not fight. They can't fight for anything. You know, you've got, if we're looking at our teams here, we've got Henderson versus Flecken. I would say that's a major upgrade, and from your point of view, Cucurella versus, you know, Munoz or Vardiol, and then you've got Kirkes and Murillo versus double Arsenal defence in Timber and Gabriel, and then Salah versus Salah, Fernandes versus somebody, and Burmo, same as me, Ismail Sarr versus somebody, and then Isaac and Marmouche versus Mateta and Visser. Oh, I've got Bowen, haven't I? Bowen and Enzo. Yeah, your team on paper is...
Is it 12 points better? Maybe.
I think, again, it's the classic line. I don't think it balances each other out.
Yeah. Spend 12 points to get about the same.
In the long run, though, for the next 2 game weeks, next 3 game weeks, if you're including double game week 32, I think your team is looking...
It's all right. It's okay.
It's looking very, very well set up. And this is the thing, for people that haven't got their wild card, you know, all you can do is just hit your transfer.
Hit your transfer button.
It's the only difference between me and you, is that I get to do these moves essentially for free.
Yeah.
But for this particular game week, Henderson away at Southampton, probably a clean sheet there. Cucurella at home to Tottenham. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if they kept a clean sheet. Kirkes at home to... Is it at home to Ipswich? That's just ludicrous. That's a cheat code, basically. No, they're away at... No, I'm on the wrong bloody game week here. What am I doing? Game week 30. So yeah, Bournemouth are at home to Ipswich. That's a cheat code for you in that. You got Murillo at home to Man United. Again, that's a cheat code. Salah, whatever. Fernandes away at Nottingham Forest. Not horrible fixture. And Burmo away at Newcastle. Horrific fixture. Ismail Sarr away at Southampton. Beautiful. And then you got the double up. And then Isaac at home to Brentford. So I think this, again, it's going to be another game week where I bet you, in fact, I'll say this now, I reckon you get more points than me, but because of the minus 12, it still keeps you back by... I reckon now you catch me up to... We go down to... So if it's 60 points the difference now, I reckon you climb up, making it down to 45 points. I reckon you beat me by 15 total. It was down to 45 between me and you. That's what I think, based on this team here. Your team for this game week looks amazing, but it's taken a minus 12 to do so.
Great.
And I'd probably play Jacob Murphy or Mbermo. Probably leave it on Mbermo because it's just to cover, be a shield. But yeah, that's a tasty looking team, Jace, and that does worry me. But thankfully, I get to...
You'll sleep at night tonight, Steve-O. Don't worry about it.
Oh no. I will be. Jace, have we got anything more to talk about?
No, mate.
Shall we get on with our day?
Let's get on with our life.
What are you doing today, just of interest?
I am tidying up the shed. Well, actually, no. My wife is going to have me tidying up the garden first because it's got that time of year now where the sun's out and everyone's out and about in the gardens, and our garden needs tidying. We need to cut the lawn. We need to find places for everything.
Is it sunny?
And then it is sunny. Well, it was before. It was before I shut the... I can't see now because there's no windows here. But then I want to tidy the shed up as well this weekend. So I'm gonna find homes for things and rearrange things so I can optimize my space, because I'm actually looking to have someone from my band coming over to kind of sit down, and we're going to go through some guitar stuff. So
nice. Yeah.
But can't do that with the shed being
filled full of computers and drums and
clutters and yeah. That's the thing. I'm thinking of moving the drum kit somewhere else. In
a shed that's about 2 foot wide.
No, it's not. The thing is, this shed's bigger than what you think. It's a 12-foot. It's 12 foot by 8 foot.
Yeah, it's just trying to accommodate for where you.
But the problem is, I've got a big desk in here.
Yeah.
So the desk takes up half of it. But anyway, because the door's that way, and yeah, so if I turn it around, hang on. Yeah, instant access. Here we go.
Here we go. We do a live look at the shed where the camera's going all fuzzy. Yeah, exactly. It's all. Don't do it, Jace. You've just broken the camera. You completely. Well, that's brilliant, isn't it? You won't even know that this is. I think what I'll do is I'll end it there. So thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed Jason doing his live, so to speak, -12, and yeah, make sure you join myself, Gary, Yelena, FPL Nightmare, Roberto, as Jason's. Yeah, there he is. He's back again. For the Wednesday watch along. Hold on a minute, Jace. Just give me 2 seconds. I'm just doing a bit of advertising, a bit of admin. Yeah, we're covering these games. I don't know how it's going to work because there's no particular matches on TV per se, other than Liverpool at home to Everton. Nightmare said he's going to try and cover the Newcastle at home to Brentford game, or he will be covering the Newcastle versus Brentford game, despite the fact he's probably going to be about 30 seconds behind. Yelena is in exactly the same position when it comes to Man City at home to Leicester. She's going to be about 30 seconds behind. So by the time I've listened to everything on the radio, I'll be saying, well, we already know that Marmouche has gone and got a hat-trick by this point. But the other games, Bournemouth, Brighton and Southampton, I'm going to have to try and keep updated with an earpiece. And Jason will be listening in, hoping that his Man City assets come through and all the other guys. There's a chance Ray may be joining us as well, but I don't think he's going to be available. Jason, other final words before we go?
Have a good weekend, everybody, and thanks for listening into this very much FPL orientated discussion.
See you later.